Here we are today again. It's the Marty and Gus show. Well, what do you think we're going to talk about? Dogs. Well, actually, dogs droppings. Something that's not a joy for me. And of course, I don't know if who sings this song, but very quaint, isn't it? Are you swinging along to this?
That takes me back to like when I was 3 years old.
Yeah, well.
Is that Doris Day?
I don't know who
That's
it is,
it.
but anyway.
Hang on. Let me hear it again. Wait. That's got to be Doris Day. Have a look. Who is it?
Don't know who it is, but doesn't tell me.
It
Could be. But anyway, that's another topic.
It's
another topic. I'm going to talk about dogs, I guess. Dogs droppings in particular. It's a bit foul, which is chicken, but
Foul.
I think give Doris the flick.
Yeah.
Anyway, look.
Well, we should go gradually down, not just abruptly stop.
We had this conversation. Yeah, look, I didn't have a fade-in facility set up there.
Yeah, that's it. So sorry.
But yeah, dogs and dogs droppings, and where we go in the world. I mean, I know it's a nice thing that people are picking up their poo of their dogs.
Can we do a disclaimer first before you?
Sure, you do it.
Okay, this is a disclaimer. We love animals. We love dogs. I love dogs.
I've had dogs.
Dogs love me.
I've had dogs.
Dogs love you?
They lick you. Yeah, they just.
We all love each other. Right? So this is a disclaimer. This is not about dog hate or anything like that.
Is it like the saying, why do dogs do what they do?
Oh, because they can.
Because they can. We're not going to.
That was a guess.
We're not going down that one.
That truly was a guess.
Let you continue with your disclaimer.
Okay, so we love dogs. Please understand that. Love dogs. Friendly with dogs. They love us. We love them.
But I think it's the owners. It's back to the owners because owners tend to they don't now in our modern advent era, which is a good idea that they should pick up after their dogs have done their doings. But you were explaining a thing that happened to you while you were going for a walk with a gentleman.
Yeah, but firstly, I just I want to pick up on the point that you made, which is modern. When did modern start?
Well, modern started when. The modern era when people started to pick up their dog. I don't know how long they've been doing it. It's probably been about 10 years, I guess. But before that, I can remember whether there was a lot more dog droppings around, but they weren't necessarily around.
We just lived with it. It was part of nature. What's wrong with nature?
Yeah, well, I don't know about you, mate. But you're going to talk about your thing. But now you've started me on that. I get particularly annoyed in my neighbourhood where
just watch out for the cameras shaking.
There's a felon out there, and it's like somebody obviously walking their dog, and this dog decides to do their do's on my grass. Now they're not just small do's; they're big do's. Now about that, okay, one thing they don't pick it up, but the thing is. If you cross the grass and you don't look, you'll step in it, and then you know what it's like when you've stepped in.
And you're in trouble.
Everybody out there has stepped in dog poo at some stage, and it's not nice, it's not easy to remove. So I think that people have got to be more responsible at it.
Actually, now, I can't remember one instance, but it must have
happened. Yeah, but you're obviously very careful. You look for those living landmines out there, and they're just living, whether you go onto the park, you're playing any sport, living landmines.
I totally get that.
Landmines. But you were going to tell a story about.
Well, I've seen this more than once, many times, especially in the area where I live, which is like a bit of a seaside suburb, St Kilda,
San Francisco,
in Melbourne. It's like San Francisco, and we're in Melbourne or Australia. But anyway, everyone has dogs. There's a lot of dogs, and there's a park, and they've got dog days and dog parties.
Dog day afternoon.
All that stuff.
Good movie,
yeah. But, it perturbs me when I see the following, which is, especially I saw this guy the other day walking along. He picked up the excrement of his dog. Put it in a bag.
That just gives it a description way beyond what I was thinking about.
It's a clear bag. But that's what it is. He picked it up, using the bag technique, which is a clear bag, and then he's picked it up, and it's a big bag, and he's got the end, holding the end of the bag, and it sort of starts to swing as he's walking, and he's proudly walking the dog, but even more proudly holding the full bag of excrement and it's swinging around.
So do you reckon that was either sort of a reincarnate of Charlie Chaplin or Singing in the Rain with the umbrella movement?
You know what it could have been?
The
It was
area
pretty
at
much
the
like
end, that person may have been a bit of a...
You don't have to make a point of it. Conceal it somehow, wrap it up. He was put it in.
Did he have his ear pods on? So he must have been listening.
No,
to
there
music
was
and
none of that.
swinging.
But he was happily and this guy was in Utopia, right? He was.
Is that what they call swinging your shit?
Exactly.
Is it swinging?
Yeah, he was
a dog. But
like that.
It's a bit scary.
We don't need that visual presence.
And can you imagine if your
Can
you imagine if you had your convertible open, he was swinging it and it came out the end?
Oh.
Flipped into the car. I mean,
I'm sorry I interrupted.
Do you reckon he'd go and retrieve that?
I'd make sure he did.
Yeah,
because that's it actually is offensive to see this happen, and it happens all the time on a daily basis where I live, and I'm sick of it. It's like it's visual pollution.
Well, I'm sick of that, but I guess I'm sick of the fact that whoever walks their dog past my place and others as I've seen, people are putting up signs now in my area that have a little graphic that has a swipe through the dog having a poo, and it says, "Can you please clean up after your dog?" Now the thing is though, I suspect all these people walking around are thinking, "Oh, well, if the dog can't read the sign, then I'm not going to worry about it," because obviously dogs have got to read now because they're going to have to pick up after themselves, or maybe they should invent a little diaper nappy for the dog so that they do their excremental. But then there's other dogs out there that are trained really well that they only go to a certain place and do it. But it brings me back to.
Can I make one more point?
No, in a moment. No. It brings me back and it makes me think about Seinfeld when he does that short routine, talking about if Martians were viewing us now and they saw people walking the dogs and then the dog taking a dump and the human cleaning it up. Martians would think, which one of these is the superior being? Obviously, the Martians would probably think it's the dog because they're cleaning up after, humans are cleaning up after the dog. So, it's interesting. But, continue on your point there if you could, sir. Yeah, put your finger in there. Right. Continue on that point you were going to make.
Technological hick.
Yeah.
All right. I have no idea what I was going to say now.
Yeah, but you always do. Yeah, look.
But I'm not sure about the word dump. Really, you could have a bit more sort of decorum.
It's very well. The dog stops and it just lets it all out. I mean, it is a dump, isn't it? I mean, what other way can you put it? Yeah.
Now the other thing is, remember, the thing is, what they have these dog get-togethers, right? And you can say whether they've got dog get-togethers or not doesn't make any difference. All these dog owners talk to their dogs, but the thing is, when they're speaking to the dog and you're walking past and they're trying to alert the dog to do something like sit down or go over there or come back now or whatever. Excuse me. Do they understand? They don't understand. They haven't got a clue.
No, I can see the dogs out there and they go, "Oh, look at your boss. Yeah, he's going to clean up your crap afterwards. Oh, yeah,
exactly.
And this one's going to do this and do that." But
really, all they want to do is sniff.
Oh, there you go, just sniff. Now, my departed father used to talk about this all the time. He used to say, he's departed. He's gone either to heaven or hell, I don't know. But anyway, he used to talk about the dogs, how when people would have their dogs and these people would kiss their dogs. And I sort of, I've seen it. I'm thinking, and then he would tell us how, these dogs have been sniffing other dogs' things. And what dogs do, when a dog gets up to you, they always go to your vital zones. So when they're sniffing other dogs, they're sniffing and doing other things. And as we mentioned, they could be licking other things. And then the owner kisses the dog. And you're thinking, wow, I mean, sorry for you dog owners out there that may have done that, but unless you're wiping their face, you're really just kissing another dog's behind. So it's been exciting. But look, no problems with dogs. I think they're great. Yeah, they're very friendly. They're
reminds me of a story. Another dog story. For some reason I went to go to the police station in Melbourne, Australia.
What was your crime, mate?
Oh, no crime.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to give him a cup of coffee and a couple of donuts.
I think you need to do that.
And this lady walked in with her dog, and really, you shouldn't be taking a dog into the police station, right? But anyway, they didn't say anything about that. So I'm sitting there, dog's on a little leash, but the owner allows the dog to jump on me and basically maul me. Okay, and I pushed the dog.
You were in the police station.
In the police station, in the seated area.
Did you file a complaint?
Well, no, but what are you going to do?
You weren't carrying around meat scraps like Elaine out of Seinfeld when the dogs were chasing her down the road after Jerry put all his lamb, the mutton.
What do you call those strips of meat?
Rations, bacon.
No. What's it called?
Beef.
Jerky.
Beef jerky.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't have any of that.
Oh, okay. So the dog was jumping all over you.
Jumping all over me, and I pushed the dog off me like this because that's molestation, basically. And she goes, "Oh, you don't like dogs." I don't know. I actually love dogs. I love all animals. I love nature. It's got nothing to do with liking. But I don't want to be molested.
I just don't want to mate with your dog. Obviously, there's something wrong with your dog.
Correct, but I should have taken up the issue with the police officer in question.
I've been was it molested?
No, it was molested. Yeah, basically, it was a molestation because it was you know what dogs do. They want to try and do things.
Dogs,
So I pushed the dog off, and she got all offended because it's like I don't like the dog. But I said no, it's got nothing to do with liking or not liking the dog. I just don't want to be molested by the dog, and I especially don't want it to happen in a police station of all places.
Yeah, the owner was lax. She didn't care.
Crazy.
She didn't care about it at all.
Correct. But see, a bit of common sense goes out the window when it comes to dogs and pets. And believe me, I love pets. I love dogs. I had pets. I've had them. I love all that stuff. Have you had pets?
I have.
What did you have?
A few dogs. I think I've told
you. You had a few dogs?
I've had a few dogs. Actually, I should tell you. You remind me of a story that I don't know if we've mentioned this before. No, I might mention
Rocky,
but close Rocky. Anyway, I'll use that word. But I wrote that I had. You know when you have
Lassie?
when you're talking about crowd.
Littlest Hobo.
Let's go a few. Littlest Hobo. We can talk about Rin Tin Tin.
Rin
Tin Tin.
Along the road without end.
Scooby Doo. But I had I guess is it a misapprehension? But you know how you've got to set up your Google Pay and you've got to set up keywords and it says where did you live and what dog, first dog or first pet's name. Anyway, so I did that once and I set it all up and then I'd forgotten this dog's name for some reason. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. Is it Xerxes?
Close. Anyway, so close. Anyway, so I was talking to my brother. I said, I've got the password and I put in our first dog's name and he goes, what was our first dog? And he gives us the one that we really had, which was a really strange name. It was like Pooh Bar or something anyway. But that wasn't the one. I said it wasn't him. It was the other one.
That's appropriate.
Anyway, then my brother tells me that keyword, that word, and the name of the dog. And I go, that's it. That's right. You've worked it out for me. I can get my password. Not that I'm going to mention it. And then he goes, that wasn't our dog. That was the next door neighbour's dog. You just think it was our first dog. So this is the memories of a first dog.
It could be a bit of a Mandela effect.
Could be, yeah, that run over. But it reminds me of another bad joke of, and I don't know, I guess it's about dogs, but there was a guy walking up the street, and he sees a man with the dog. The dog's sitting down next to this man, and he was going to pet it. He said, oh, nice looking dog. And he asked the man, does your dog bite? And the guy goes, no, my dog doesn't bite. So the guy goes down to pet the dog, and it bites him. And then the guy that got bitten, he goes back to the guy and goes, you said your dog doesn't bite. He says, yeah, but that's not my dog.
But that's the second time you've told this joke on this YouTube channel.
There you go. When did I tell it last? It wasn't
yes, you said this joke
before. I thought it would just be appropriate. Maybe I've told it before. Maybe that's senility kicking.
So maybe the viewers will laugh again. Who knows?
Who knows? Those that haven't seen it. But hey, yeah, look, Rin Tin Tin.
Rin Tin Tin. Yeah. Lassie?
Hobo, the
Littlest Hobo. I used to love that show.
TV shows. What are other dog shows that were around there? Flipper. Was Flipper a dog show? No,
the horse show.
Mr. Ed.
No. Before that. Mr. Ed was great.
Was there a talking dog?
Flicka. My Friend Flicka. Remember
that was a horse.
Yeah, I'm talking about horses now.
Who cares about that? We're talking dog shows. How many?
I used to love that show.
Maybe were there any recent dog shows you remember? I'm trying to think. Oh, there was all those. So I'm thinking of Garfield. That was a cat. there's all top dogs. Yeah, but
now they're robots.
There wasn't anything as good as I guess as the Littlest Hobo, which is.
I love that show.
The Littlest Hobo. What a theme that was too, if I can find it. But that theme, Rin Tin
The
Tin.
world is my friend. I'm travelling along the road without end.
Wow, inspiration. I'm just trying to think of other dog shows that were out there, but there wasn't that many. I mean, Flipper could have been a dog, except he couldn't walk. Flipper was a dolphin.
You castigated me for the flicker and talking about a horse.
Was that Castigate?
Castigate,
or
yeah.
Cattigate?
Castigate.
Talking about cats again, yeah.
Oh, Cattigate.
Cattigate, yeah.
That's funny.
Dogalogs.
You're being funny again.
Catalogs, dogalogs. Yeah, I can't think of that many shows.
You're being dogmatic.
Anyway, yeah, occasionally I'm dogmatic, but it could be a catastrophe.
So I'm thinking now I want to buy a dog.
Yeah, woof, hey.
Seriously.
Could be, yes.
But you've got to be a responsible pet owner, especially dog owner.
I'm so responsible that I don't have a dog because I know that I'm inherently lazy and they'd probably starve in the backyard and I wouldn't walk them. So I know that. Whereas the other people out there, do not get a dog if you think
we need to cease this swinging effect in the plastic bag. I mean, that is visually so offensive.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, okay, I think we've made our point on all that.
We've got so much.
We could
keep going for like 3 hours.
We could, but however, I mean, time is running out, as I can see, and time is against us. And surprisingly, we've gone this far. So I think, hey, this is. Well, I think.
I'm driving.
I'm signing out. We're signing out.
Subscribe, like, and do all that stuff. I do the tiniest for sale. I don't want money.